Welcome back, everyone, to Dead Red Herring's riffraffing
Movie riffraff.
movie riffraff. Riffraff.
Yes, and this is where we watch the movie, and here we give our thoughts and summary of the movie. And also, if you want to watch the movie with our commentary, there will be a commentary track.
Yes.
So this time we watched
Jonah Hex, the critically acclaimed DC movie.
Yeah,
What's the opposite of critically acclaimed?
dumpster fire. I
Yeah.
think. Well, I'm gonna say from the get-go, it's not the best movie, but it's not the worst movie.
It's an entertaining movie.
Yes.
For all the right reasons.
Yes, and it's bad because of pacing.
Yeah.
Mainly pacing and some story decisions. but starting off, if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend you go watch it. But otherwise, a summary. We follow the, ironically enough, in my opinion, the DC hero, anti-hero really.
Yeah.
Jonah Hex, who is a cranky bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he has a supernatural ability to talk to the dead, which he doesn't have in the comics.
Nope.
And we follow him as he saves the day and saves the fledgling United States.
Saves America.
Yep. Well, America.
In a way.
So, you want to start with the good or the bad?
Let's start with the bad. Or shall we start with the good, actually?
I actually want to say that I enjoy the movie for what it is.
Yeah.
I watch the movie as if it's a game, sort of. Because really, the writing would fit much better if it was done as a game than it is as for a movie.
Yeah.
And here we come to the point of the pacing, because the pacing doesn't make any sense.
Pacing is like a cheetah on speed.
Yeah, it real weird cuts at points and just really stress.
It's like, come on, let's get to it.
Let's go. And not really taking enough time to get a feel for things or to explain some things.
Because the movie, it wasn't very long.
Just about 2 hours. Not really 2 hours.
Was it that long?
145-ish.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah.
Because it almost needed to be over 2 hours.
Maybe not real 2 hours, but a little more time.
Yeah.
But to try and keep to the positive, I enjoyed the setting.
Yeah.
The Weird West. I'm a sucker for Weird West. It was a bit weirder than I'd like at points, especially since it comes off as trying to be more serious than it is.
Yeah.
It really doesn't acknowledge all of the more, not really fantastical, but fantastical parts, the more weird parts. Some critic described as a bad. It was the follow-up to Wild Wild West that no one wanted, kind of.
The sequel to Wild Wild West no one wanted, yeah.
And I can see what they mean.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like those parts. I like the parts that reminds me of Wild Wild West. Both the Will Smith movie, but also the TV series.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, because I'm a sucker for the Weird West theme and setting. So what I did like is the way they present his ability to talk to the dead. Nifty.
Yeah.
I like that. I would change some things around. Like, for instance, maybe actually make it possible for others to also see the dead.
Yeah.
I would make much clear what kind of power it is. Because right now they make it seem like he got the power from being kind of resurrected-ish by some Indian tribe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a very Abrahamic element to it.
Yeah.
You have the idea of heaven and hell-ish.
Yeah.
Hell dogs,
Yep.
stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really mesh, in my opinion.
No, it's yeah, exactly. Mixed mystical.
Yeah. And I have no problem with keeping, well, mystical parts being a bit shady, not really explain it. But I would want to have just a little bit more.
Mm.
Another thing is there are some vision quests-ish parts or more. Like the fight between what's the actor? Well, Jonah Hex and Malkovich character. And John Malkovich plays the bad guy.
Yeah.
Which he does really well. I like
yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
That I do like. They have a sort of final-ish fight that is done in a form of spiritual place.
Yeah, it was very
or otherworldly, I should say, not spiritual. Which then that fight I would actually have wanted to see done in
real time, so
exactly.
to say. Because yeah, it became a spiritual combat
It's
between.
kind of like he did in a Vision Quest.
Yeah.
Instead of actually dealing with the thing in real.
Defeating Turnbull for real.
Yeah. At the same time he did, but not really. Anyways, what else did I like? I like the both practical and visual effects.
Yeah.
Those were made well. Concepts I did like, again, because it's a superhero movie, but not really a superhero movie. Because to me, a lot of the things within this movie, within the setting, again, Weird West, makes for good inspiration for me when I create my game.
Yeah, definitely.
Which has a Weird West setting to it. So I like that. What I didn't like, however, again, not explaining. Because there were key elements that I wanted to have explained so that I could say, okay, I get it. Like, for instance, the super weapon.
Yeah, the main MacGuffin weapon.
Yeah. The big multi-turret cannon that fires cannonballs, which then explodes like some fucking nuclear weapon because of a form of detonator, which looks like a fucking Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And there is no explanation whatsoever on how this works.
Quentin Turnbull found all the Dragon Balls and wanted to annihilate Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, kind of. And then, of course, it's the pacing.
Of course.
It's too fast, too choppy.
You need to slow down, explain a bit. I can deal with explanations. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
You don't need to go with let's go. Why? Because we said so.
Yeah.
I was going to go into characters, but most of the characters fit in quite perfectly. Apart from one. What the hell does Megan Fox have to do with anything?
That was kind of like, the director wanted to have some flesh on screen.
I want to see Megan Fox in a corset and push a bra.
Yeah, you could have skipped that character.
Yeah.
Really, you could have. Totally unnecessary character.
Because
there wasn't a need for a love interest.
No.
Actually, I think it would have been better if there could have been not a love interest, but a female character that has sort of the emotional part to play, but more in a sense of reminding this version of Jonah Hex of his family and make him remember the man that he was, in contrast to the cynical bounty hunter that he turned into.
Keeping his little part of humanity.
Yeah, and make it really have that arc of him trying to retain his humanity in the world he now lives in.
Yeah, definitely.
But instead, they kind of have had him as a very solid character in a sense of him being really solid as who he was, no questions asked, no doubts whatsoever. And in a action setting, sure, it works, which worked for the movie being just a action schlock.
Yeah, pretty much. You get the feeling it was made kind of like the early 2000s superhero movies.
It was actually on the later part of that era that it came out.
Yeah, I know it came out.
But yeah, I understand what
the
you
formula
mean.
is
The formula is, yeah. So it was within the early superhero movie era, but on the later end. So it still had the format, but a bit more, not really refined, but they worked out part of the kinks in it.
Yeah, exactly. I just think about Josh Brolin as Jonah Hex.
I think he did a fairly good job with it.
Despite
really.
everything.
Yeah, despite everything.
Despite everything.
But what else can I say? One scene. Actually, two things now that I think about it. But one thing, the first thing I hear is when they're on the ironclad.
Yeah.
In the end, when they're gonna load the cannon with the detonator charge, it has this long transport.
Yeah.
It like it looks like it's kind of 100 meters long. This track, it has to go down before it gets to the elevator to take it up to the cannon. It's like, how do you fit this in the fucking ironclad? Yeah, that I really got annoyed about that part. Another part that was so obvious is that they had one spot where they did a lot of filming around a small pond, and you can tell that they just had him, Brolin, ride around this over and over. They just moved the camera to get shots from different angles around this pond.
A small pond and like a gravel quarry.
Yeah. And it's so obvious.
All right, we have this lake. How can we milk this?
Yeah. Oh, what locations do we have? Well, we have this kind of gravel pit.
Well, I want to film here. Yeah, I can't afford that.
Yeah. I wonder what the budget of the movie is. Was. I never looked up. But I mean, it feels like a low budget movie with a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Or was it a high budget movie with a low budget feel? I'm not really sure.
Can you do a quick search?
But
keep the audience entertained.
Another thing that I remember we talked about while watching was the Irishman.
Oh yeah, Michael Fassbender's character.
Exactly. And how having that character, as I don't know if it became kind of headcanon for us.
$47 million. So,
I mean, it's a lot of money, but in contrast to others.
In contrast to others, Ghost Rider had 120 million.
They did a really good job with that amount of money in that case, because Ghost Rider sucked.
Yeah. Oh god, we'll get to that one.
We'll get to that one. But yeah, Michael Fassbender's Irish character.
Oh yes, the Irish.
We talked about this character, how fitting it would be if he actually had a power, because that's not really clear. But he has a power of just being lucky. That is his supernatural power. Oh yeah, that would which explains why he's able to go about the way he does.
Exactly, the luck of the Irish.
Yeah, I like that idea as a concept,
because on the subject of people with powers in that movie, they had a little bit of hint in it. You know, in the pit fight tent.
Yeah,
that
the snake man.
Yeah, he spat acid.
Yeah,
and was Well,
lumber, little fucker.
nimble little minx.
Yeah. And that's actually a part I really liked.
Yeah.
And it fits so well within the Weird West theme.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have the pacing. Again.
And then we have the pacing.
It's like, I gotta stress the point. If it had been done as a game, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Because then you have the short and on the nose, more or less, writing work for the different scenes, but you fill it out with running around.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
And then we have the crossbow dynamite launching pistols.
Oh, yeah. The rocket launcher crossbow. I forgot about that. Oh my god. It's either that or the horse Gatling gun.
The horse Gatling. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. That won't you. I mean, this movie really goes for the rule of cool.
I was gonna say that.
I'm no fan of rule of cool, so it rubs me a bit the wrong way. But if I watch it and don't think about it, it works for the time being.
It might work, yeah.
The movie works as a action schlock.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, definitely. So the one thing we can say is nice concept, shame about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave it 2 scarred faces out of 3.
I give it 1 raging Gatling gun out of a horse.
Yeah. And 2 dynamite launching crossbow pistols.
10 Dragon Balls.
Yeah, so that's Jonah Hex.
Yeah, go and see it. It's entertaining.
It's entertaining for what it is. Don't think too much. Just if you want to have something, you put in the background.
Don't go in with expectations, but go and see it.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the movie? Really?
Yeah.
Let us know. I really want to know what you think about it.
Are we wrong? Are we right?
And, yeah. So, thank you so very much for listening. I really appreciate you taking your time to listen to us rambling about.
It warms the old cockle.
The what? No.
What?
So, thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day, and we'll talk to you again later.
See you later, partner.